Hey guys, this is Joey with Heacock Classic and American Collectors Insurance. Today I'm sitting down with Jeff Zwart, and if you guys don't know who this guy is, I guess I'll just ask him to give a quick cover letter of some of his experience. He's a guy to know.
Oh, thanks. Enjoying being here already. So it's
sweet.
Been a good weekend. I've been here many times, but you know, I come from a filmmaking photography background and have been very fortunate to do quite a bit of racing along the way. So I've used the racing to kind of, I guess, give me a different vision of what I do in my filmmaking world.
Okay, so the two hobbies kind of go hand in hand then. And well, are they hobbies or is it work? Or
no, they're both passions, and they happen to both pay. So it's good.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, that's what they live for, is they want to find that passion that really grabs them, where they get paid for it too, and those kind of things. So, and you're also some of those races you've done. You're quite the Pikes Peak aficionado, aren't you?
Yeah, I think you know, in racing you kind of gravitate to either the area that you have the most fun in or the area that you can be the most successful in, and I think both those things are kind of combined in Pikes Peak, and I've really done virtually all forms of racing, but yet I kept coming back to the Pikes Peak hill climb, and I've now run there 16 times.
Wow. And
in 12 different Porsches, and have 8 class championships there.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's been good.
Yeah. What's a good setup for a car for hill climbing, for that high demand, you know?
Yeah, the number one thing is, because the hill climbs generally have changing surfaces and changing weather and everything else, having a fairly soft setup allows the car to not be so nervous. And you know, last thing you want to do is be driving along cliffs with a nervous car. So,
yeah, that's
so
for sure.
Having something that's a little more supple, a little more less razor sharp, and more compliant to surface changes.
So kind of adaptable.
Yeah, that really helps. And I know that, you know, I jump in cars occasionally that are way too stiff, and you know, I just say, first thing, soften this thing up. So
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, that's cool. And so, and you said all of them were Porsches, right? So you're quite the Porsche guy too.
Yeah, no, I've certainly aligned myself with the brand. You know, I've been fortunate to shoot most of Porsche's advertising in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, a lot of their commercials and things along the way. So that part of it, to apply that to my racing in the same brand, has been a nice way to kind of combine those two things. And you know, Porsche, there's no secret, they build a really good race car.
Yeah, that's true.
Going to Pikes Peak with the variety of different Porsches I've run through the years has been a really way to go about a very difficult, high-risk event that's held once a year with a car that you have total confidence in.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I hear that a lot from Porsche drivers, is kind of that total confidence feel. There's a lot of responsiveness coming through the chassis, and you just have that feel, that connection. It's almost like an extension of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Instead of controlling like some wild beast or something, like it's your sides coming through the car. Is that kind of a...
Yeah, I kind of I guess describe it as you kind of wear the car.
Yeah.
So it becomes an extension of yourself. You're super aware, especially in a place like Pikes Peak, where, you know, there's a lot of drop-offs and corners that really change in shape, and trees everywhere and all that sort of thing. You want to be really aware where the four corners of the car are. So when you think about kind of wearing it, it becomes just an extension around you. And being a factory-built race car and spending so much time in factory-built road cars, the familiarity when you jump between the car you drove on the street to get there and into the car that you're racing, it's really a nice confidence builder.
It's like night and day difference. You really feel that as soon as you hop in. So if someone was new to Porsche, right, like a young hobbyist just getting in, they hear a lot about Aircooled, right? And I understand you have like a little project going on with that stuff too, but tell us what's the draw to Aircooled?
I think that certainly air-cooled Porsches have been there since the beginning of Porsche. You know,
because the new Porsches are still amazing.
Yeah, no, everything. You know, there's an evolution. There's a need to meet, you know, certification and emission rules and everything else. But Porsche really came from an air-cooled background, and I think that unique nature that the air-cooled motor made this sound that was so special. I think one of the key components of it is the sound itself, because that's not replicated in the new cars. It's close, but it's not that kind of
Some of those cars will put it in the speakers
Yeah.
just to give you that feel. So it's not the same.
No, it's not the same, but it certainly is a main component of the early air-cooled cars, and I think the simplicity of it, you know, not having radiators and coolant and kind of all that stuff, and the necessity to put openings in the front of the car to cool things down. You know, all of that made a very clean car originally, and the air-cooled
it's probably
cars,
easier to work on too. Then.
Yeah, so it's much simpler. There's far less things to go wrong, I believe, in the air-cooled cars. But certainly they build a wonderful product now, and it gets you everywhere. And, you know, faster, more comfortably, everything else
More
than
fun.
it did.
Yeah.
But you know, I love the air-cooled world.
Well, and I heard recently that in the last couple of years, Porsche has actually hit like they're competing with Lexus for like top reliability.
Yeah,
now.
No, all the surveys these days, literally, you know, the prime surveys out there, Porsche has really come to the top in all of them, and you know, not just in the product line, but in customer satisfaction, dealer experiences, everything. So they've really put a lot of effort, but it's kind of happened also in a way very organically, that they're building great cars and they have a great infrastructure around them to support them.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, cool. Thanks for sitting down with us. Make sure to follow us for more content, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.